All right, thank you very much. Good morning, Coach Boyer. How are you doing this morning?
Doing good. How are you?
Doing well. Thanks again for joining us this morning on the teleconference. Reminder to members of media, *1 at this time to get in the queue to ask questions for Coach Boyer. Coach, before we get to any questions, can you just give us your thoughts on the season so far?
Well, it's obviously it's been tough. Of course we knew this was coming as far as after graduating 5 senior starters last year when you were going to be young, and 7 freshmen. What you hope and you don't anticipate is the injuries that we've had. 2 starters already out for the year, and a third one out for probably another 3 to 4 weeks. So it's made it a challenge. Just kind of when you feel like you're getting settled into a routine, you've had to take a step back and reevaluate things because of another injury. And but through it, there's been some positives. Our seniors, 2 seniors that we do have this year, Dominique Oliver and Brittany Fowler, have really stepped up and playing well as seniors should. And we're seeing a lot of progress out of our freshmen as well. So while the record's not good at this stage, we're still showing a lot of progress and, competing each day.
Coach, the 7 true freshmen to start the year on your team was a new high for you during your tenure. What's been the challenge of really teaching them on the fly during this season?
Well, the biggest thing is that, and you go through this with every year with freshmen, is rarely are freshmen, do they come into this level understanding how hard you really have to work, the pace and the speed that you have to play at. And, and that's something you're accustomed to but when you have a team where the majority is in that boat, so to say, it really makes it difficult. And I think that was as much as anything is, we spent pretty much, July and in preseason, honestly, it's, basketball was an afterthought. It was just simply trying to get people to understand how to go hard in everything you do and the speed and things like that, you really couldn't even focus on the basketball because you're still focused on that so much. So, it's just, we've had to really slow things down, and focus on that part of it as much as anything. And then, the basketball started coming in October and, but you just feel like you've been behind in every aspect.
What did it mean to start the conference season with a win against ULM for your team?
Well, I mean, it was big for us, and and we've competed pretty well too. I mean, in most games, we got the win there, and competed decently against Lafayette. Competed at Coastal on the road, had a chance there, and so it's been good. And the biggest thing was, you spend all of non-conference, and we had a very difficult non-conference schedule. We've traditionally done that. We've built our non-conference schedule for postseason, and you can't just up and take 1 year out of that because all those games are multi-year contracts, and but we were able to keep our team focused and by constantly preaching, build towards conference, don't overreact, build towards conference, and you get to conference and then it's hard, now it's here. So it was nice to get a win, and I think even in a couple of our losses, we felt good about the way we competed. Didn't always do things perfectly, but we competed well. So, that was good for us, and certainly again we can continue to build on.
Coach, this season your team has shot the ball well from three-point range, like a lot of other seasons as well. But this year you lead the Sun Belt in three-point field goal percentage. What's been the key to being so successful from beyond the arc?
Well, again, that's an area where, we've kind of adjusted to what our identity was. We started out the year and, changed things around really to fit the identity of the team. And our identity was not a great shooting team. Really, our identity was our ability to attack off the dribble. I mean, we were very athletic. And then, at Iowa State, we lose our starting point guard, Tatum Hopkinson, ACL. She's extremely athletic off the dribble. And then, 2 weeks later, we lose Acacia Westbrook to a toe injury for the year. And again, she's our most athletic player, really good off the dribble. And when those two things happen, that's when we had to, again, take a step back and find out what our identity was. And as it turned out, it was the ability to shoot the ball. Brittany Fowler shoots it really well. Jada Ford had come forward as, was really, as it was at the time, was our leading scorer, freshman, best shooter. And it just came down to those two players, Jada's ability to shoot and Brittany Fowler's ability to shoot. The others just shot it just well enough. But those two had come on as really, really good shooters. And then now we've lost Jada for another 3 to 4 weeks. So I don't know that we'll continue to. So again, we're back to kind of square one of what really is our identity. And I'm not sure that shooting is going to be it for a while until we're able to get Jada back.
Coach, you've got 2 games coming up this week against South Alabama and Troy. Your thoughts on the upcoming opponents?
Well, it's not so much the opponents; it's still just us and trying to just work through us. And as I keep saying, where's our identity? And I know it's going to be good to be back home. Our first home stand with Monroe, we were able to get a win and had a shot against Lafayette, played well against them, and so more of that. We know South Alabama is good. We know certainly Troy is in position. They can win the league right now, and these are going to be 2 really good teams. But again, we're just more worried about ourselves right now and excited to be back home.
Coach, what does it mean to have all 12 teams traveling down to the Sun Belt tournament this year?
Well, I think it's more than anything. I don't know that as much for the teams as I think it's the opportunity for the fans. When the last few years when we were not able to take all the teams, it really makes it difficult on your fans and can they plan and set some vacation time down and schedule to make a trip down there, not knowing if your teams are going to be there or not be there. And I think that's where, as much as anything, we hope that by having all the teams there now, it can be an event and a destination that your fans can plan towards. They can even in summertime start looking, hey, we know our teams, both men and women, are going to be there. Let's plan on making a trip to New Orleans. And I think that's important for this league. Is it's a really good tournament, both men and women. The quality of basketball in this tournament has always been good, and it will continue to be really good. It is a very good basketball tournament, but we obviously we got to get the fans to buy in and make it an event, a destination that they plan on year in and year out, and hopefully by taking all the teams that's a step in the right direction there.
Coach, one final question. It was announced this week the Sun Belt is partnering with the American Cancer Society to do a Suits and Sneakers Week for Coach Elderkin of App State starting next week. What are your kind of thoughts on the initiative that we're doing for Coach Elderkin next week?
Well, I think it's a great plan, not only for her but just in general. Men, women's, both teams, and great awareness that we're able to do. But it becomes, you take more ownership in events like this when it hits home. And in our league, especially on the women's side, it has hit home because, as coaches, we're all competitors, but, we all have a heart for one another, too, and what they go through in their personal lives. And, what Coach Broadhead went through last year with the loss of his wife. And, there's things like that hit home as coaches. And this is another one. This is another case where, she's one of us. And we, there's only so much we can do, but hopefully just this event and this week and the awareness is something that we can do to show our support for her.
Well, Coach, thanks again for taking some time to talk with us this morning. We appreciate it, and best of luck the rest of the way.
All right, thank you.